To Lessons and Miracles. I'm here with our beautiful family, ready to do our discussion on the lessons and miracles. So we have beautiful Auntie Jean.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
And we have beautiful Christine Elizabeth.
Hello, everyone.
And beautiful Charlie Charming.
Hello, everyone.
And we will be doing a short little meditation to bring us together in our heart so that we can feel into our true presence. And I just encourage everyone, whether you're watching live or on the replay, to just close your eyes. Let all distractions, delusions, disappointments, anything that you feel you're willing to let go of just for a couple moments, just to come into that feeling of harmony and peace. And just let yourself rest there. Rest in the stillness. Let yourself fall back into the silence. Let all things be gentle and free. And let this moment be the only moment going beyond all of our thoughts, all the illusions of time and space, and entering in to that absolute oneness. Feel yourself in that energy, the frequency, the absolute. Let yourself really drop. Drop everything and relax into that perfect love, that perfect peace and perfect joy that comes from the certainty and knowing of absolute oneness, regardless of the appearances, regardless of how everything looks to the physical eyes. Just see the great rays. See the light. See the love. And see that oneness. The truth. That we can be still an instant and be home. So we'll gently let ourselves come back into this moment. This is our time to explore with gentleness and curiosity what it feels like to be still an instant and be home. So, anybody want to share anything?
I went to the doctor, and she was telling me I made a taking off blood, and I did it anyway at the doctor office. I asked for the Pink Boy Bandit because the Barbie movie came out. And I'll probably get in my some Barbie right gear tomorrow with my dad have a cold. So I'm tomorrow not wearing my Barbie PJ.
Oh, that's great.
So that's my miracle.
You know, when we do that deep meditation, we can feel what it's like to be home. But we know that there's more to that, because every now and then in deep meditation or in the circumstances we're in, we get a glimpse of what it's really like to be in that home, in that place where the Holy Spirit, where heaven resides. And it's so beautiful and it's so wonderful. And you want to catch it right away, and then it slips away. But you know that we are all going to be there one day. And it's just marvelous. And I liked kind of the way the lesson went into the fact that we all have that child inside of us. And that child remembers what it was like to be truly home. And so all our lives we've been looking for that. And anyway, I thought it was just beautiful and just reassuring that, yes, we all have a home and we all want to be there and we're all one. Anyway, that's the main thing I got out of it.
That's beautiful. And welcome, Isabel. We're so happy that you're here.
Oh,
Yeah, I love that. I love that, Auntie Jean. It's really, I think everyone's searching for that feeling of what we actually have on a regular basis now. You know, I think that it's such a beautiful gift that we gather here and join in this when we join in this time. And I can feel that it's radiating and it's extending to everyone who's searching. You know, I can feel that there's just this beauty that has taken over this whole time when we're together here, and I feel it's beyond anything you can put into words, you know.
Yeah.
it's the oneness.
Yeah, it's beyond explaining and complaining. It's just being in that pure gratitude for being grateful for what I don't understand. I can't begin to even my intellectual mind cannot wrap its head around all of this stuff, but it doesn't need to. What's so great is it just needs to be still and quiet, and when it's still and quiet, everything else just comes to the surface.
Yeah. It's actually what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, whatever. The stillness and the quiet. It's how ironic that it was a lesson that, you know, that it came through that, you know, as being that. And in Pam's one, they talked about, you know, all these people that did all these inventions, Salvador Dali and Thomas Edison and August Cayley. He was the founder of organic chemistry. They all did it in silence. You know, it came to them meditating when, or dreams, it all came to them, all these inventions and everything else when they were in the stillness.
In the moments of quiet, yes.
Yeah.
I've been doing, and I maybe you might be able to correct me in some things, but I've been doing some research on the throat chakra because from what I've been studying, the throat chakra, and Asha probably knows something about this. It's our communication center. It's more than just talking or speaking or feeling free that we can talk about what we believe. It has to do with all our communication. How, and it has to even to do with silence, with the listening, the listening, so that the messages can come in. We have to be in that entire silence and that quiet, so that you know those messages can come in. And that doesn't mean that there's no noise around, because it's hard to find a place now where there's no noise. I mean, I go into my angel room, which is kind of like a sanctuary, and I hear noise from all outside and sirens and all kinds of things. But once you get yourself into the meditation mode, you watch your breathing and everything, then you become engulfed in that area of silence, of quiet. And that's when the meditations come in, the messages come in. And that's so important. So the throat chakra is really important to the heart chakra, because that's where the messages are going, is into our heart. So, I've been working on trying to clear my throat chakra a little bit.
Yeah, that's the direct communication. When you're in direct communication, that opens up and you are able to relieve yourself of all the distractions. And the distractions and the disappointments, the denial, all of that is, to keep you from that direct communication and having a direct experience, because that's what the false self's job is, to keep you as distracted as possible and to keep you as busy so that you're not taking that time to be quiet, and so that you're saying, oh well, I can't really be quiet because there's this, that, and the other reason why I can't really be quiet, and then we start to make up excuses for the reasons of why we can't have that direct communication. So it's basically just staying in the silence regardless of the outside circumstances. Did you want to share anything, Asha?
I kind of do, even though I wasn't part of the entire conversation. The only thing that I would like to share, it might not even be on the same wavelength. Like we might not be talking about the same thing, but from my own personal experience, I mean, my own self, me, um, I've always had issues with my throat chakra, and from being very young, we I mean, I think most of us were brought up in very strict homes where we weren't always able to express ourselves. And then when we did, it was, well, for me, it was more a form of being disrespectful rather than saying how I feel, because, that was kind of like frowned upon. And then as I started my healing process, I discovered that my throat chakra was well, not completely blocked, but it was blocked for most of my life because I also had traumas from a previous lifetime that I brought into this lifetime. And so I went about most of my life, when I was young, never expressing myself, always, just going along with it and didn't want to hurt people's feelings. Um, so that's my own personal experience with the throat chakra. So yeah, and I, working a lot of healing with that, and I think I'm in a good place, but I still find myself falling back into that, and I tend to not want to hurt people's feelings by expressing myself or by saying how I feel about something. So yeah, hopefully I didn't ruin what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with that too because of my background, but the Course in Miracles has been a blessing for me. It really has because it's taught me. I know we've through all the things. I mean, as long as I've been spiritual or trying to be, I think I've always been spiritual, but trying to learn about it. Um, I've become more worthy. But the Course in Miracles has really taught me who I am. It's really given us an idea of who we are and our worth, and that we are the Son of God, that we are uh, um, His love in human form, that and what we need to project is that love anyway. So now I've gotten to where I realize that I need more work on that throat chakra, because now I've become more aware of what I'm doing, and that you know you don't always have to put yourself last. Because that's what I've always done my whole life, is put myself last. And I always thought that's what's the right thing to do. That's what good people do, is they
Yeah.
they put themselves last, and everybody walks all over them, and that's you know and now I'm learning, no, that's not necessarily the right thing to do. And anyway, I think the Course in Miracles is for everybody, and I think everybody sometime in their life, hopefully soon, finds that they need to take it, they need to go through it, because it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing in your
Mhm.
spiritual growth.
Okay, so we're going on to the next lesson. We are going into lesson number 183. I call upon God's name and on my own. God's name is holy, but no holier than yours. To call upon this name is to call upon your own. A father gives his son his name and thus identifies the son with him. His brothers share this name, and thus are they united in the bond in which they turn for their identity. Your father's name reminds you who you are, even within a world that does not know, even though you have not remembered it. God's name cannot be heard without response, nor said without an echo in the mind that calls you to remember. This name and you invite the angels to surround the ground on which you stand and sing to you as they spread out their wings to keep you safe and shelter you from every worldly thought that would intrude upon your holiness. Repeat God's name, and all the world responds by laying down illusions. Every dream the world holds dear has suddenly gone by, and where it seems to stand, you find a star, a miracle of grace. The sick arise, healed of their sickly thoughts. The blind can see, the deaf can hear, and the sorrowful cast off their mourning, and the tears of pain are dried as happy laughter comes to bless the world. Repeat the name of God, and little names have lost their meaning. No temptation but becomes a nameless and unwanted thing before God's name. Repeat this name and see how easily you will forget the names of all the false gods you valued. They have lost their anonymous and valueless, have lost, wait a minute, they have lost the names. They become anonymous and valueless to you because although before you left, the name of God replaced their little names, you stood before them worshipfully, naming them as gods. Repeat the name of God and call upon yourself, whose name is His. Repeat this name, and all the tiny nameless things of earth slip into right perspective. Those who call upon the name of God cannot mistake the nameless for the name. Practice this today and repeat God's name slowly again and still again. Become oblivious to every name but this. Thus do we give an invitation which can never be refused. And God will come and answer. Think not that this prayer of those who call will not be answered. They cannot reach He can hear all requests. Repeat God's name, and you acknowledge the sole creator of reality. And you acknowledge also that this sun is part of this. Creating in this name, sit silently and let this name become the all-encompassing idea that holds your mind completely. Let all thoughts be still except this one, and to all other thoughts respond with this, and see God's name replace the 1,000 little names that you gave your thoughts, not realizing that there is one name for all there is and all that there will be. Today, you can achieve a state in which you will experience the gift of grace. You can escape all bondage of the world and give the world the same release that you found. You can remember what the world forgot and offer it your own remembering. You can accept today the part you play in this freedom and in your own freedom as well. And both can be accomplished perfectly. Turn to the name of God for your release, and it is given you. No prayer but this is necessary, for it holds them all within. Words are truly insignificant, and all requests unneeded when God's Son calls on his Father's name. His Father's thoughts become his own. He makes this claim to all for his Father, that his Father gave, is giving still, and will forever give. He calls on him to let all things he thought he made be nameless now, and in their place, the holy name of God becomes this judgment of their worthlessness. All little things are silent. Little sounds are soundless now, and the little things of earth have disappeared. The universe consists of nothing but the Son of God, who calls upon his Father, and his Father's voice gives answer in his Father's holy name. In this eternal, still relationship in which communication far transcends all words and yet extends in depth and height, whatever words could possibly convey, is peace eternal. In our Father's name, we would experience this peace today, and in this name it shall be given us. So we're going to move on to the next part here.
Put on our chanting hats.
Put on our chanting hats. It'll be interesting discussion tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Isabel offers you lots of support, Auntie Jean, in the comments.
Thank you, Isabel.
We adore you.
We all hear you. We all love and support you and know that you are magnificent.
Yeah.
So we'll go into the next chant. We'll go into our chanting. Our first chant is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Auntie Jean, do you want to share about that?
Certainly. This chant, actually, I believe it's Lord Ganesh who this chant was created. He's the remover of obstacles. So this chant removes obstacles from our way, from our heart, from our mind, and we get all those out of there to make room for the miracles and the love. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 declarations, and we're going to chant it slowly 3 times, and then we're going to finish the 108 that are on the Malabis. And actually, Charlie's going to count for us tonight. He's got his Malabis. That's because, just in case, and he's a lovely counter. So the first declaration we're making is that we are getting rid of all the obstacles.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
And second, we are getting rid of all the barriers. Barriers sound the same, but they're different. Barriers are things that we have put up in our own way, or someone else has put them up there. So let's get rid of all those too.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
And last but most important, we are getting rid of all the illusions. And I think this is where Karen usually puts the allergies. So I'm going to put them in here too. We're getting rid of our allergies.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye
Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
And now we just take a moment to just feel that freedom. Feel it for all creation. Feel it for all of life. And let that beautiful energy radiate and extend. And we'll move into the second chant. This is Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. And Auntie Jean, can you share about that?
Yes. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is the chant of miracles. It's also the chant of love. And there are millions of people all over the world who chant this every day. They chant it to bring in peace, to bring in love to our world. And I think we're starting to feel it. If you're honest with yourself, you can feel that love is growing and that desire for peace is growing. And if you don't have the desire first, then you can't have the peace. So we have the desire, and now we're working on getting the peace. So hope you will join us in bringing the peace to our world. We're going to do it the same way. We're going to do 3 declarations and say it slowly 3 times. And then we're going to complete the 108. And afterwards, Karen will lead us into our heart-brain connection and the love that we share with the world. So we are declaring that everyone is accepting, aligning, allowing, and awake.
Nam
Yeah.
Myoho
Renge
Renge Kyo.
Kyo.
And second, we are declaring that we are living in happiness and that we are healthy.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo.
And lastly, we are living in peace, harmony, free from suffering, and free from illusions of all kinds.
Nam
Myoho
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam 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 Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo. Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo.
Kyo. Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo. Nam
Renge Kyo.
Myoho
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo. Nam
Renge
Myoho Renge
Kyo.
Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo. Nam
Renge Kyo.
Myoho
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam
Renge
Myoho
Kyo.
Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho
Nam Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Renge
Nam
Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho
Nam Myoho
Renge
Renge Kyo. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge Kyo.
Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam
Nam
Myoho
Myoho
Renge
Renge
Kyo. Nam
Kyo.
Myoho
Nam
Renge Kyo.
Myoho Renge Kyo.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Now we'll just do our 3 ohms to offer gratitude. Now we just take a moment to bring the heart and brain into coherence. Now we just take a moment to radiate and extend that feeling of love, appreciation, and joy to all creation. Om Shanti. Peace. And welcome our miracle Marlene. Thank you so much for being here.
We love you, Queen.
And we're going to go into our declaration where we say this all together. And I'm going to ask our beautiful Christine Elizabeth to share that and count us down, please.
Yes, I am. By honor, we the president. Peace on earth and be with kind to everyone now. Please. 1, 2, 3.
We declare
Declare
that there is peace on earth, and we declare that peace begins inside of us.
inside us of it is.
And so it is.
forever
And
and ever.
ever.
Amen.
Amen.
You say amen, I say amen. And we're a group that created a movement, and the group is known as
The
Peace for
peace.
peace.
Yes, and we've been doing this for 1,146 days now. And I'm a P.
And Charlie's a P.
P.
And Chris is a P. And so is Sunny.
Yep, she is.
And yes, she is. And Karen's a P. And Asha's a P. And Marlene's a P. And Isabel's a P. And we have Gracie who's a P. And our mama P, Teri, is not here. She's with her brother. And she's where she needs to be. And so we have P's all over the world. And their very presence and the very presence of peace in their heart assures us that there is peace on earth. And it is growing and growing. And so we're asking you, wouldn't you like to be a P too? That way it'll grow more. So we need to make more peas. We got a big vine and we need lots of peas to circle the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So we love you and be kind. And thank you for coming tonight. Did I miss something?
No.
Okay. So Gracie's not here, Chris. It's up to you and me.
Yeah, the white hill, the white, the and the white hill,
with the sprinkling of
peace,
and the small song
And
it'll pieces
come around
the corner
we
chant.
we chant.
Peace is coming around the corner when we chant.
When we chant.
Peace is coming around the corner when the smiles on people's faces. Peace is coming around the corner when we chant.
And we
And be
chant.
kind.
And be kind.
Be kind.
And hello to Jennifer.
Oh, hi, Jen. She's a P too, everybody.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
All righty then. So say prayers.
Okay, so we will all see you tomorrow, and we thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll be back together again tomorrow, and we end our night with
Namaste.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Love you.
Isabel. Good morning, good afternoon, good
New
evening.
wherever you're